welcome to Sanity, Sexy, Success podcast with my special guest all the way from America, Jennipher Hagenmayer. I am so excited to bring you this tonight, listeners. When I thought about Sanity Check this week, I thought to myself, do you know what? I would love to bring Jennipher because she's just got that real gorgeous aura about her. She's got a real nice energy that I think you're all going to be able to feel, even if you can't see her right now. If you're tuning in from Spotify, you're going to be hearing her voice and you'll be able to understand exactly why I've got her for Sanity Check this week. We're going to be talking about realignment. We're going to be talking about connecting with yourself emotionally, spiritually, and all of that good stuff, as well as faith. Because faith for me is something that I've lost, as you know what happens, like life happens and you go through motions. Like for me, faith was a big part of our life as a child, and then I got into my teen years and kind of lost my faith a little bit, like situations and life happens and you lose that. So I want to talk a little bit about that as well tonight, if that's all right with you, Jen. And we're just going to get down to it. We're going to get down to it. But first of all, how are you? I can't hear you.
Audio.
There we go. Yeah. How are you?
I'm so good. First of all, Katie, thank you for having me here. You are like such an inspiration. We go back, you guys, 10 years, I feel like at this point. I mean, I have watched this woman do the unthinkable. She has done so much for the industry, so much for women in general. She is an inspiration to me. Honestly, Katie, you've helped me through some really dark times, whether you know it or not. So I'm just privileged to be here, sitting here and kind of give back the way that you've given me so much, actually.
Thank you very much. But this is all about you, actually, tonight. I do really appreciate that. And I'm going to just take the compliment because I think that's what we do as women. We just kind of bat it away. But you know what? Just own it. Somebody says you're oozing confidence, take it. If somebody's saying you're successful, you inspire me, take it. Like, it should be okay for us to start just accepting those compliments. So thank you, Jen. I'm accepting it. So let's do a little bit of an icebreaker. And I do always ask the people that come, the women that come onto the podcast, I always ask this question. Did you always know what you wanted to be or what you wanted to be known for, even from a young age, would you say?
That's a great question because I definitely now, like, coming through this, what I consider a reflective era, I can tell you that 100% that an entrepreneurial spirit normally starts very early on. And I can recall kind of playing at the time, my sister and I would play store and we'd have our clothes set up and somebody would be, the one that sells the clothes and buys the clothes. And so I definitely see the clues, but I can't necessarily tell you that I knew that I would be influencing people in any capacity on such a scale as soon as, with social media being at our fingertips. So it's been really fun, but I definitely think that you can kind of figure out if you have an entrepreneurial spirit or not.
Yeah, I agree. And, where did you actually grow up? Because obviously a lot of the listeners are going to be from the UK, and UK and the USA are very different, and the way that we just, it's a different lifestyle, I would say. A very different lifestyle. So I would say, where did you grow up, and do you think that affected who you've become, like being in sort of a faith environment, would you say?
Oh, definitely. I grew up in a town, Montgomery County, Maryland, here on the East Coast in the United States. And I definitely think that it's more of a melting pot situation, which kind of geared me up and set me up to kind of have this non-judgmental perspective about opportunities, about people, about your circumstances. I actually feel like if you dig back, you'll find your childhood also will really help you determine which pathway you can choose to go, because you're either going to learn from your situation or you're going to repeat it. So I definitely think I was set up to get to know people and many different types of people, and that kind of works really well, actually.
Yeah,
Non-judgment.
yeah, I agree. And I do want to talk about faith a little bit before we get into alignment and stuff, because I think that is what's wrong with society over here. I know it's a lot different for you because faith is massive within USA communities. Like, you haven't lost that. You still got your churches, like it's a big part of your sort of your life. Now, what we see over here, I mean, when I was a child, it was, that's what we did as a family. On a Sunday, we got up, we went to church, we prayed, we had that community feel. And I don't know what's happened, but it's just not that anymore. And I think that's what's wrong here. And that's why the children are going the way that they're going over here in the UK, is that they don't have that community. Like, they don't have that place to go where they can learn skills and speak to different types of people. Like, it's quite scary, to be honest. And we're just seeing more and more churches close. We only have one in our town now that's open regular. Like, all the other churches are pretty much closed. It's crazy.
Wow.
I
That
know.
that is really scary, actually. And I actually jotted down something, which was, your foundation. Your foundation is huge. And hearing that breaks my heart, because I do believe that it is not only affecting over there, but it's kind of overall everywhere. There's an attack, so to speak, on that foundation, which is, a lot of times based in faith and family. And that's kind of something that's been on the attack. And I think that, we're seeing that, and we have the opportunity to kind of course correct right now. And um, if you're in this space and you do have a platform, it's kind of nice and also something to take into consideration, because that is something that is happening, and a lot of people want to act like it isn't happening. So I definitely think that it's important to utilize
Oh, wait.
platforms, course correcting, and we need, our foundation is everything for our children, for us as people. Foundation is huge, and faith has definitely been something that I think it can come and go. It can come and go in your situation, and your environments and your resources are definitely going to play into how you orchestrate yourself as an adult. But it doesn't matter if you didn't have it as a child. I think that there's a beautiful mindset that I've taken on just based on being in network marketing, which is continuously being in a growth mindset or looking for the solutions to the problems. It's a problem that we are not having faith and family as a foundation right now in all the nations. And so I feel like, right now is a really, really fun, exciting time to not only flex your entrepreneurial spirit, but to utilize it for the greater good and to course correct from the destruction of the foundation that really we're talking about.
Yeah, definitely. It's just nice to have something to, keep you on the right path. Like, and I think that's what faith is all about. People just think, oh, we don't need that anymore. Yes, we do. We do. Like, I think it's a really good foundation, especially for our younger generation. So, yeah, it's just something for parents to maybe think about,
Mhm.
to sort of bring that back. We're not saying go to church every Sunday if that's not for you, but just having that foundation is key for any family and
Mm.
community. So that moves me on really to what's been the biggest challenge, would you say, in your life that has maybe shaken your faith? And be honest.
Mhm. I think that thankfully, because I had that foundation, it was my foundation. So no matter how far you venture away from your foundation is your foundation. And I do want to say you can create a foundation at any time, at any age, at any chapter in your life. You can re-identify, realign, and decide that this is my foundation, and my foundation is based off of my core beliefs. Okay, so that was the thing that I wanted to really specify, is figuring out what your core beliefs are, period, and never going against those. And that really will essentially be your foundation. And if we're talking faith-based foundation, then it doesn't matter if you're in the church. The faith starts in your communication and your yeah, it's in your heart. And so never feel as if, because they did that during the last few years. We had lots of churches closing down and lots of separation, and you can decide for yourself if there's an agenda against that, but don't ever allow any situation to stop you from having and cultivating that relationship with I think the man above.
The man above. Yeah. Yeah, and
Mm-hmm.
people have different faiths and different beliefs. It could be the man above, it could be the universe, like whatever it is, it's just realigning. And like you said, it's setting that these are the core, and I'm not going to sway away from it because this is what I believe.
Yeah, and the times where it was the most difficult to really hone into my foundation is, of course, the times when you are at the pit of what is hell. And you guys, hell is not necessarily flames around you. It's a state of being. It's an overall, how am I going to get out of this? It's a perspective of it not being able to get any better. And that's all it is, though, is it's a perspective. So understanding that, and then just realizing that it could get worse, and understanding that it's always gotten better at the same time. It really helped me stay connected to my faith and not turn against it. I kind of came into this realization that things are happening for you. They're not happening to you. They're constantly redirecting you. Rejection is simply just realignment. It's just realignment and going back into that flow. And I feel like when you stay in gratitude, you say thank you for this flow and this new shifting in your mentality, it's easier to stay connected to your foundation. It's easier to say thank you. But it's a constant thing. It's a constant every day. You got to flex that muscle. You got to every day cultivate the relationship. But again, if it's your foundation, you're always going to lean back to the foundations. And that's why I love habits and rituals, because they help you cultivate the foundation. Habits,
Yeah.
ritual, above all.
Yeah, definitely that consistency, isn't it? That consistency. And also knowing that, like you said, life is always going to throw you those, those curveballs that kind of knock you for six. But it's like, even the negative that happens or can be seen as a negative, you can always find a positive in it. And there's always a lesson to be learned in some of our hardship times as well. You've just got to kind of pick yourself up and go, right, what am I going to do about this? Like, how am I going to move forward? How am I going to grow from this? Because there's always a way to grow in those dark times. So much there is.
And I welcome them now. I welcome them because I just know
Bring it
that this is,
on.
yeah. I've once you and you guys, I'm like, I'm 41. I've got some wisdom behind me, some experience behind me. At this point, I feel like I can say these things, and I'm like, you know what? Shit's gonna get hard on some occasions. It's okay. I know I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna be okay. And that happens after going through the experiences. The first heartbreak is gonna crush you. Guess what? The second one doesn't hurt as bad. And so, the things that at one time are really difficult, that you don't think that you're going to make it through, if you just never turn your back on your faith, you never turn your back and become a victim. Really, I mean, being a victim and being a cynic, oh my gosh, I didn't even recognize and realize that victim and cynic, they're almost the same thing, you guys. If you're constantly looking for ways that
Why me? That one.
you're a victim, you've got a victim state of mentality. And then if you're also a cynic, meaning that anybody that comes around you, I don't think we talk about this enough. If people that come around you are not able to make you happy, they're not able to help shift the perspective, you might be a little cynical. And then it again, once you have this self-awareness, because that's the other thing, write this down. Before you can figure out if you have a foundation, you don't have a foundation, whatever, you have to have some self-awareness. You've got to be able to look at your life. You've got to be able to, really see that the times that it was difficult, the times when you were the furthest away from your faith, that it's not necessary that he wasn't beside you. Maybe he was picking you up instead. And that kind of goes along with the prayer, with the footprints in the sand of time, where Jesus is carrying you versus not seeing the footprints next to you. We forget in the tough times, we think he's not here. If we can recall that he is here, that there is, we're all here for a reason, you guys, for a purpose, for a reason, to make an impact. Like, we're not to be abandoned. And recognizing that and realizing that hard stuff, it's just to help give you cultivate your character. That's what it is. You're just cultivating your character. How are you going to maneuver through this? Are you going to be the victim or the victor? Are you going to have the good perspective, or are you going to have a crappy perspective? It's all up to us to decide how we want to endure the chapters. We all have a book. We're all the author. We're all going to go through chapters. I don't think there's any escaping it. You just have to have a strong mindset for when you come to the hard stuff, while you're going through the hard stuff, and then for after the hard stuff. And that goes back to celebrating who you are, being okay with getting those compliments, and maybe not having an imposter syndrome, because a lot of us go through that as well when we've gone through hard stuff, and then we're like, well, I was at once really good at something, and now I've gone through something hard, and maybe that really good time in my life was just an accident.
Yeah.
Those kind of situations can really put you in hell, into that mental hell, where you start to put yourself in a state of anxiety, and you don't focus on your faith, and you start to want to be a control freak. And you guys, with faith comes the lack of control. It's you have to just put your faith into something that you cannot see. And so I think that if we, that's a skill. Again, it's a skill. These are some of the life skills that they don't teach us at school, which again is part of the problems with why we don't have the foundation already at our disposal. The foundation is, it could always be worse. This life is meant for us to live and enjoy and impact and love ourselves, you guys. Most importantly, love ourselves, because when we love ourselves, we have extra. It overflows to everybody and everything
Okay.
around us.
Keeps on
Right?
coming.
And could we imagine if everybody had that mindset?
Oh my
If
gosh.
everybody, like, we would be, oh my goodness, it'd be amazing.
Contagious. It's
Mhm.
contagious. They say when you're around, good, strong people, you become like that person. So, that's what we need. We need more powerful, more powerful people impacting the world, and everybody's got it within them. It's just whether or
Mhm.
not they're gonna let it out. That's the thing. So, what would you say has been the greatest reward then through feeling aligned, being aligned, taking that role as, this is who I am, what I'm about?
Again, in speaking in chapters, the best part is witnessing other people have this aha moment,
Yeah,
where they were once in that hell,
yeah,
which were, and you guys, that looks like so many different faces. That looks like, I'm not pretty enough, or I'm not good enough, or I'm not worthy enough, or I'm, all these self-limiting beliefs. But I love watching and experiencing somebody have that, like, you know what? They're just sick and tired of being sick and tired, whether it's because of, somebody told them something, or they didn't have a belief in themselves, because some people have support systems and they still don't believe it. So when they have that like moment, it's just like, all right, like,
yeah,
let's go. Because guys, one catches catches another, and it's a ripple effect. And we feel so minuscule in this like world, but we have an impact. And it's just, if one person, you can make a difference in just one person's life, then it's all worth it. And so I've lived for those moments. I continue. And then of course my children, my goodness, I mean, I want to show them. I want to show them that life is more than the box that they put us in. I want to, I want to at least have them have the resources necessary that I didn't have. That's for certain. Nobody was telling me that there's another way. There's an opportunity to, work for yourself, cultivate and watch your own ideas turn into something. Nobody taught me that, but it was always a thought. It was always a thought when I was that little girl. And that's the foundation that we are able to give the next generation, which is kind of cool when you become a mom. So my why, my children, of course. And then personally, I've been through divorce. So this opportunity has saved my ass. Okay, my hours.
And I know, because I've been through all of that with you. I saw all that happen.
It's been from a stay-at-home mom with no income to, like, this is a lot of fun and we're changing lives, to, oh my gosh, this is saving my life. And I'm going through that hell that I'm describing, to getting on the other side of that, to finding love again, to trying to having 2 children, blending a family, and just almost losing my faith along the way, but realizing he was always right there, redirecting, realigning, just to kind of be here in 2024 and I feel like I've weathered a storm, so to speak. And I've had, thank you, Jesus, the perspective that honestly came from network marketing, came from becoming an entrepreneur, saying yes to an opportunity, not being afraid to take a risk on and live life, you guys. Faith over fear. I felt it so much, I went and got a tattoo. Okay, for those of you guys can see.
I've seen it. It's beautiful.
I it. I want to live it. I want to feel it. And it can be difficult, you guys, for sure. But finding things that empower you, and opportunities and people, 100%. It's going to help you, whether you have an establishment or not. Thank you. You can connect with people all around the world. And that's a fun space to be in.
Definitely. You have been through so much. There's no question about that. Like, I mean, if you've written a book tomorrow, I would buy it. Like,
Oh, girl, on its way. We're manifesting it for the future, because the wisdom, the wisdom, you got to go through the experience, you guys.
You are literally like the wisdom mama. Like, you've got so much to give. It's like, I just love it. I love it. So yeah, please do write a book. I know the listeners will be like, please let us know when it drops. Please, I'm buying it. So yeah, so here's the thing. So now I want to move on to spiritual connection. Again, I know that this is a big one for you. You've been going through that manifestation stage, soul searching, realigning with who you are, what you want to be known for. I know that me and you really do connect on that a lot. You are literally my soul sister when we get deep with all of that. I'm all for it. But what I really want to know, stuff the listeners, what I want to know is, do you have like a must-have daily practice for your manifestation? Is there something that you were doing every day consistently to help you with it?
Ooh, wow. I mean, if I want, again, we're talking in seasons and chapters, and I will tell you
Changes all the time, right?
What?
It changes all the time as well, because you could be doing manifestation 1 month, you could be doing, I'm going a fitness journey at the moment, it could be this, it could be that. So many different.
And that's kind of our personality, because we also like spontaneity and just changing it up, and kind of like, but there's always a rhythm. There's always a rhythm of self-development in every single routine, every single day, to have a growth mindset in itself, you guys. It's hard to cultivate habits and rituals if you don't have a growth mindset, because habits and rituals, you guys, it comes down to having the ability to have the self-discipline to carry out those habits and those rituals. And if we don't have self-discipline, it's kind of because we don't have self-love at the current moment. So I really strive to keep and cultivate whatever routine around taking care of myself. Self-care is huge, you guys. Non-negotiable. I'm going to take a shower every day. And these are basic things. I know that they're very basic, but you got to start somewhere. And I know that I have 6 children, you guys, 1 extra, so 7 bonus children. And it's hard. It's hard to find the time to take care of yourself, trust and believe. And like I said, I've been through seasons of being a single mama. I've been a stay-at-home mama and there's nobody here. And then I've had a season where my partner works at home, and that can be in its own sometimes issues. But regardless, right? Like it's a lot. It's a lot. But finding the time, finding the way to build in your routine non-negotiably, time to take care of yourself, a daily shower. For me, I got to do my makeup. If it's not my hair, it's going to be my makeup. It's going to be something. And I actually, this is another thing that might be a little bit weird. If you guys could let me know, is I wear jeans at least 3 times a week. I still get ready, you guys. I act like I'm going somewhere and I am normally in my house walking down the stairs. I still do my hair. I still do my makeup. I make sure that I feel good about myself, because if I feel good, I look good, I can do good. And we're talking, I've mastered the mom 5-minute face in 15 minutes. So I don't want to hear excuses. I also make sure I move my body every single day for 30 minutes. I mean, that's it, whether it's the nighttime, it's the morning. And I'm talking to the mama that's got, kids, little ones, that it's difficult, especially. Now, if your kids are off to school and you're at home still, then really no excuses to get those steps in. There's so many ways now. We've got the pad that you have, right? It's like so many ways to get your steps in. And that's kind of going to help you get that compound effect, just moving your body. And then you can move into, weights are huge, especially as we age as women. I do not think they're bringing enough attention to that, right? We need some weights, you guys. Right. We do not. And you guys, here's the hack. Physical activity is the root of productivity. Tony Robbins said it. Move your body, like change your stance. Like you got to put some energy into whatever it is that you are manifesting, aka praying for. Because I want to just kind of like, it's manifesting for prayer. Like you guys, I've been through so many seasons, like going back quickly to my spiritual journey, which I had a crash course in that. I had no clue I was on a spiritual journey. First of all, like that's kind of how it starts. It starts out of nowhere. You're in it midway, and then you're, halfway through it and you're like, holy crap, I think something's occurring. And then when you're on the end of it, you're kind of like, okay, that wasn't so bad. Okay, thank you, Jesus, I'm still alive. And that's how you get realigned in a nutshell. Okay. And I'm just telling you, because I think to myself, how did I live and survive through that? I was talking on live and they were like, what you been through, girl? And I was like, I mean, it sounds like I was just like, taken by handcuffs off into like, I don't even know. No, you guys. But what happened was every single emotion that you will have and endure as a woman, as a human on this planet, I feel like I just went through in the last 10 years being an entrepreneur. From heartbreak to betrayal to not believing in myself to imposter syndrome, jealousy to ups, and like I'm telling you, it's a roller coaster, but it is the most exhilarating, fulfilling,
sexy,
like beautiful thing that you could ever experience, honestly. And it's character development. That's it, what it is. Honestly, at the end of the day, this business, you know what? It's like you could become a millionaire, but what you're going to have to do, who you're going to have to become that millionaire, and especially 2 times over. Okay. Because you can do it once, but to continuously do it is it's going to show how much effort you're putting into helping people. That's what it comes down to. And that's exciting, you guys. And it's a great goal. And it's something that all of us have the ability and the capacity to do, is help just one day at a time, one person at a time.
Definitely. Yeah. And you answered like 3 of my questions all at once there, like about self-care, fitness, bam, 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 bam. You just hit it. Hit it. But I mean, for me, do you know what's the most challenging? Because I hear it all the time. Tony Robbins, Eric Worre, all of the big timers, they say like the most productive time in your day is the morning. Now, let me just, you girl understand, I've got 5 kids in this house, you've got 6 and a bonus one, 7 children, right?
Yeah.
How do you have more productivity in the morning when you've got that many kids to get ready for school and all of that jazz? Like, I mean, if you've got your morning routine down, I need to know how.
Well, it's 4 years in now, and I'm gonna tell you, I had no idea. I did, it's almost like it's like everything that I think I've applied myself. It's like we just keep on doing it. We just keep on stacking. It's a non-negotiable. I'm on my way, and whatever I achieve along the way. So for me, it was I started really. I've always been into health and fitness since I was little. It's part of my foundation. But after having my fifth child, it still kills me when I say that, my fifth child, at 39, I was like, well, you know what? I need to get back into shape, girlfriend. I had 4 children. I had a mommy makeover, and then I had a baby. And I was like, oh, heck no, we're not letting that. Right, exactly. Soul sister. And I was like, we are not letting that go to waste. We're going to get back into shape. And I said, let me do what I got to do. So I just started, you guys, I just started to show up, and I decided to do it on Instagram for whatever reason. Of course, I've got my things going on that help me stay consistent with that. But I honestly posted just for accountability. And I was like, very blown away with the amount of people that were like, oh my gosh, you inspired me throughout the months. And it was like 3 months in. At first, I thought I was a weirdo. I'm not even going to lie. I was like, I'm not like this fitness person online, although I'm very healthy. And, I've got my, people, if you know me, Jennipher doesn't have a microwave for 10 years, kind of healthy. Okay. That's how I was. I was like Amish for a minute. Okay. And then divorce happened. Okay. And so I got a little from it. But like I said, he will always come back and course correct you. So when I thought like I can't do because I can't focus because I'm in this season, here he comes through with an opportunity that forced me to take those habits, those rituals, and just show up and become a healthier version of myself. And it was the consistency, you guys, that leads to that is only cultivated through the self-discipline, which when you start to kind of hammer it out, you're going to become confident. You're going to start loving yourself because of the confidence, because you're proud of yourself, because you're able to not give up on yourself. Or when we do things that we're not proud of, whether it's in the darkness or the light, it's hard to love ourselves through that. And then we don't want to work out because you know what, you were a bad girl and you ate that pizza or whatever it is, you did I don't know, it could be so many things, bad habits that you're, bad people, whatever it is. I'm very big into like making sure that what I have around me only serves the greater good. Like I feel like in 2024, stepping away from drama and all that is, uh-oh, I was getting a call there for a second. Sorry. Yeah, I want to make sure that I'm keeping it positive around me because, like you said earlier, we got to keep the right people around you, and sometimes the right people change too in your chapter. So I understand that too.
As you grow
Yeah.
and evolve, like I think you think, oh, because these are my friends for a lifetime, that they've got to be in your life for the future. The next 5 years, 10 years. Honestly, my circle is very small. And that's just the reality of when you become successful and when you start taking major respect for yourself, you lose a lot of people because a lot of people just don't have that same mentality. And if they don't, they have to go. They don't serve my life in a positive way. They've got to go. Somebody really wants you, don't they?
Yeah, I don't know who that was.
She's like, red button, red button.
But
Who even rings people anymore? Is that even a thing? Like, if you want me, text me, okay? Add me on Instagram, follow me.
my 3 close friends, the ones that I've kept around.
Yeah, that's it. I love that. So, listen, social media. Let's talk about this. I reckon another 10 minutes or so we should be done. But social media portrays this, especially Instagram. I mean, different platforms for me have got a different vibe about them. But Instagram seems to be the one that gets a lot of stick, where people are portraying themselves to be this perfect, this perfect person with this perfect life, traveling the world, making lots of pennies. And you've got, Shirley, who's just had a new baby and she's watching all of this and she's thinking, what the hell is my life? Like, I really want you to sort of give Shirley like some Jennipher wisdom of just like how she sort of accept Instagram to a certain degree because it's a great platform, but to not like look at that and sort of, you know, see it as, oh, well, my life's a crock of shit because I'm not like them, you know?
That's a great question. And I I I say never compare yourself to other people and their journeys. Point blank, period. If you are, I say, and I learned this from one of my mentors, which is it's okay to copycat as long as you copy the right cat. So be, intentional with who you are watching when you are consuming. It has to be somebody that's teaching you, whether if you're trying to become a better entrepreneur, follow people that are going to help inspire you. Never compare yourself to what it is that they are doing. That's all mindset. Mindset is like 99% of this business. And if you're sitting there and you're comparing, and even if you're wasting your life force and energy overly consuming and never applying, that's a hindrance in itself. So I would suggest, first of all, picking 4 people that have what you want. 4 people, that's it. And this is your sponsor, your mentor, and these are on the social media platforms. They should, I mean, I don't like to waste my time like consuming anything that's just not going to help me. And that's with everything, you guys. And that's not to say that you can't go down the scroll hole, because you can put that in your, like, okay, I'm giving myself an hour to just mindlessly decompress, and that's totally fine. But don't waste your time, because if you waste your, then you're wasting your energy doing, it's like set yourself up for success. That's the way I like to, let's counteract the bad habit with a good habit. So I do not compare myself. First of all, as a sponsor, I'm gonna tell you first, these are the things that you're probably gonna do. Don't do them. I'm gonna equip you with that first and foremost. And so if you can do that for yourself, like I'm not gonna allow myself to, comparison is the root of all evil. Like, let's just know that. Let's not go down and follow people that make me feel insecure until I've got my habits and my routines, my confidence, and I know who I am. Because you want to get to a place where you're waking up in the morning and you're like, hey, high five, you're just as good as me, I'm just as good as you, you're not in comparison. I look forward to the people that I see on my news feed, you guys. I look forward because they're all going to inspire me. They're all going to make me want to be a better person. They're all going to give me the feel goods. I'm not going to see anything negative. And if there is something negative, my mindset is so good, it doesn't even bother me anymore. And taking that even further in 2024, I am very aware of distractions. Okay. The devil comes in many forms and fashions, and he's going to come through to distract you. And he's going to come in there and he's going to try to make you jealous or try to make you feel like you're not good enough. So every time you have a self-limiting belief, I just want you to sit there and I want you to wrap your own arms around yourself and say, you know what, I'm okay. And those thoughts, they're not true. Sometimes your thoughts, they're not your own thoughts. And so then get back to what are the thoughts. And if you have to write it down and do something like mirror work, which is what they call it, look at yourself and every day say, I love myself, I'm an amazing person. Like, you got to start believing these things and saying them to yourself every day. That's kind of, again, another habit, a ritual that if you don't do, you might not feel good, but at least you know what to do to feel good. It's your foundation again. And affirmations, one of the easiest things that you can do, I put them around my house. When I start feeling the vibes around my house getting weirded out, I'm like, okay, nope. I put something,
You're
you're
all gonna
amazing.
listen, you're all gonna read it.
Yeah,
Read
every
it with
one of,
it.
I don't know what they're consuming sometimes. We can't control everything, but I'm going to counteract a bad habit with something good. I'm going to see that you're spending, I'm just saying in general, as a mother, as an entrepreneur, I'm always looking for solutions to problems. So if my faith is far away, what can I do to strengthen that? I personally, in 2024, I've got my devotionals I'm doing every day. I'm trying to stay accountable for that so I can strengthen those top 5 things that we started to talk about earlier, and faith is definitely a strong point, as should your fitness and your mental health be. Okay, because without your health, you got no wealth. It's like pay now or pay later. So yeah, your mental health, your physical, your mental, your spiritual health, your creativity, which is intertwined. We are not given enough time to be creative any longer. And I think that that's kind of something that being an entrepreneur also brings out in you. And I'm grateful for that. And I want more people to understand that, like, having that creativity and having something that you can, spend time on and cultivate it's really fun. It's cool.
Yeah, it gives
And
you a
make you better.
purpose. I've always said that, like, that's what I absolutely love about the industry that we're a part of, is that you get to stretch that entrepreneurial muscle, you get that creative flair, that spark. There's just something really, really magical about it, isn't it? That you can't really explain until you're in it. And then also the confidence that you get from, pursuing your goals and your dreams and what it is that you want. Like, honestly, you can't put a price on it. You really, really can. So, I mean, I have got a few more questions, but I'm just going to choose like a couple. The first one, is there a particular book that you've sort of read that has been like the big game changer for you, would you say?
Oh man, well, I'm gonna take it back to, let's like start 10 years ago, because the book that definitely, there's a couple books, but the two that I'm gonna definitely suggest, first of all, The Secret. That book is like the beginning of the spiritual journey that you don't know that you're gonna go on. Okay, first and foremost, grab the book, watch the YouTube, listen to the whatever. That was definitely very insightful for my journey and has helped me out. And it's something that honestly we can all watch at least once a year. And it's all about mindset. Another book that I really enjoyed was You Are a Badass.
Yeah.
That book, like towards the beginning, and it was, I mean, it'll get you out of your, it's like a tough love kind of, like, I liked what she had to say. And it really will help you with your confidence and kind of understanding. um and then of course GoPro was one of that book
Still
probably.
Hey!
I think I know him.
Just a little bit. So listen, backstory. We've got to just fill you in a little bit. So Jennipher is actually Eric Roy's daughter-in-law.
See?
Is that you? What? Yeah, she actually is. So that isn't that like so cool?
He was my online mentor turned real life mentor turned family. Like, it's crazy, you guys. And that's just opportunity in itself. And that's just peeling back 10 years ago. And, just this content that I was consuming that honestly was just, again, mindset, mindset. So that mindset at the beginning of cultivating whatever foundation you're trying to do, I mean, I can't make this stuff up. It's been a crazy 10 years. And that book, what else book can I think of that I'm reading Atomic Habits, which was a really, great book. Second time reading through. Go for the No was another book that, again, in the beginning, because again, that no, what is no? It's like rejection.
Like, what?
Yeah, like,
what? Why?
you gotta be prepared for no. I will say, in this industry, the word no, eventually you just start welcoming it. But it can definitely be a crash course on how to not, again, almost like take those humanly emotions and let them work against you. Hearing no is rejection, and then that can just crush people sometimes, rejection. But it's really, you guys, it's not rejection, it's redirection a lot of times, and it's all up here. So that book was huge. And then I did a lot of YouTube, you guys. YouTube, there's no excuses. Like, holy guacamole, Jim Rohn, like, please, he is I still Les Brown, I still listen to them on a regular basis. If I need a, yeah.
It just hits different, doesn't it? It just hits different.
Oh, it's like fantastic information that and especially Jim Rohn. He's got the list. He's got the Bible of the list of what to do's and don'ts. He's kind of like the Andrew Tate of back then, I guess, or Jordan Peterson. Love him too, actually.
Yeah, there's so many good things. And the thing is, with personal development, with reading books, like, knowledge is power, knowledge is queen. I always say it, but it's personal to you. Like, You know, you
Mm-hmm.
need something like what Jen's mentioning is a lot of sort of network marketing books, things that are going to help you with becoming an entrepreneur, sharpening those skills to book, sell, sponsor, all of that stuff, which is fantastic. But what will happen is as well is once you start growing, you'll start recognizing what you need to strengthen. You'll be like, oh my God, I really struggle talking to people. Right, find a book about that. Oh,
Yes.
I'm really struggling with empowerment, empowering people. Right, there's a book about that. I'm really struggling with my confidence right now. Okay, let's find a book about that. There's something for everything. And I think, it's only when you start doing the do and you're putting your best foot forward that you'll start to see what you need to sharpen. So,
Mm-hmm.
it's just about being self-aware, being
Yes.
self-aware of what it is that what your brain needs, what you need to then elevate, and that's what personal development is. So
And it's that resourcefulness, like that in itself. If you can become a resourceful person, you're already ahead of the game, because that's just in anything in life, you guys. That's that growth mindset. That's in everything. If you are not looking for a solution, then you're the problem a lot of times, or you're complacent, and that can create problems. Choosing and deciding that you want better, it's just a choice. It's a choice, and it requires work. Nothing in life, comes easy. And so, yeah, I definitely think that we are all capable, though. That's the thing. We are definitely all capable of anything we set our mind to. And I've learned that along the way too, you guys. Dream big, dream huge, and then write it down. That's the one thing that I will also say. So simple, so simple. Write it down the day before. You guys have a plan, time block, different seasons, like 20 minutes upon 20 minutes upon 20 minutes, and you can get anything done. It's like I remember hearing, what is it, I think Eric actually said this about the turtle versus the hare. Like, does the slow guy, he eventually gets there, he went like success like speed, but you guys, the compound effect of just every day, it depends how fast do you want to get there. Be the turtle, never give up, keep on going, and you're going to get to your dreams. You're going to get there, I
yeah,
promise.
and it's brick by brick, innit? It's building it solid. Build the foundation solid. It doesn't, sometimes if you go quick, you mess up and it falls down. Like, it's okay if you go slow. Just make sure that when you're building it solid. So it's just going to keep growing and growing and growing, and that's what it's about, that stability. Like, have that really strong mindset, have that really strong knowledge, have that really strong everything, that when
Yeah.
you're going into situations, or you're having a new conversation, or you're going into a new relationship, like, they're going to be like, who is this woman? Do you know what I mean? Like, I am feeling this, and that's what it's about. It's just about continuing to grow, as slow as it needs to be, really. It's not a race.
For sure. And there are times where you can, there it's a series of little sprints. Maybe it's a marathon with little sprints. So you're doing what you got to do during these seasons, depending upon where you are in your life, or what the environment is like, or if we're in a, whatever's happening right now in the world. There's always going to be different seasons when you which is actually nice. When you're an entrepreneur, you have that opportunity to kind of, the
Well,
freedom of your
no,
team.
you know,
Yes. Yeah, it's like it's up, it's down, and you get to decide, though. You get to decide, because you guys, in entrepreneurship, it's like a lot of times when it's down, that's the time when you step up. So it might be opposite, and you'll learn that along the way as well. But the point is, um, you can have whatever you want in this life. You can literally dream out, and as long as you put the work, you're a good person. Because I highly believe in karma, you guys. I really believe that what goes around comes around. And if you so put in the right, proper intentions behind whatever it is that you are creating, whether you're co-creating, whatever it is, if you're putting the best intentions, okay? Like, whatever you do in darkness comes into the light eventually. You got to be coming from a good space and place, and then you're going to go faster anyways, just based on that alone. Okay. Just based on that. So know that when you're operating through the days, Know that you do have, you know, power over whether you are positive or not, just based on that alone, your perspective and how you think and what you consume. Then again, that's back to the habits and the rituals, because consumption is everywhere. It's in who you talk to, what you listen to, the music you listen to, the clothes that you wear. You got to decide for yourself. What do you believe in? Who are you? And then who are you authentically? Because we can't be running around trying to be everybody else either. Who are you authentically? You're not going to be looking at other people's pages and jealous of what they got anyways, because you are who you are, and you're trying to grow that and strengthen that who you are. So you don't have time to be looking and seeing what they're doing, because you got to be working on yourself. And if you do that every day, you give people the opportunity around you to do the same thing. Okay. And that's the best part. Be yourself, love yourself. And before you know it, people around you are going to start doing the same thing. And if they're not, those aren't your people. That's just point blank period. For every single next level up, what is it? New level, new devil. New levels, new devils. Okay. So I learned this too. Stop trying to hold on to things that don't serve you so that you can grow, because every time something goes away, it leaves room for something new. And that's important when it comes to opportunity.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
Oh, Jen,
Oh my
listen,
God.
girl, you
I
have
got
been 10/10, amazing, lots of value. And I'm serious when I say you need to write a book. Like
Oh,
what
I'm
you
writing
can
that.
do. I mean, personally, like I say this every conversation that I have with you know, whoever come in and speak, it's always right, what you're gonna write a book about. By the end of it, they already know what they're gonna write a book about because it's what they've been talking about. And I'm like, that's your passion, that's your purpose in life, like to give more of that.
Mm-hmm.
It's unreal. Like for me, that faith and that aligning and that spiritual side, I think especially for our younger generation, I keep talking about younger generation because, you know, I feel like obviously they're the next leaders in our society. Like, what are they going to be bringing? Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And needs
Yes.
powerful women like yourself to give back in that way, especially to that younger generation. So something to think about. So Jen, let me know when the book lands. Do you even know what the name's going to be yet? Just throwing it out there. Like, have you got a name?
Oh my goodness. You know what? I'm not sure what it would be called, but you know what? It's on its way. It's
Oh, it's
on its
coming.
way.
Can't
I'm
wait.
I'm so excited. And you know what, Katie, thank you as well. I'm waiting for your next whatever, because I'm eating it up. You are amazing. You are like, seriously, you've done so much. You're doing so much, and you're going to continue to do so much. So when you say that we need strong women, we need more Katies, is what you're saying. It's me.
We're on a new era. We're on a new era. We're stepping into it now. It's Katie 2.0. It's Jen 2.0.
Yeah,
Let's go. Let's go.
exactly. We're on our way. That's it. We're next level. That's it. Next level. Let's go. I'm ready.
I love that. So thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. This was Sanity Check week number 4. So I will see you all in a couple of weeks' time. I will announce the next speaker via my social media platforms over the next 7 days. But you are going to see Jennipher Hagenmayer all over my newsfeed over the next couple of days. So please do come and listen to Jen and give us a little follow. Jennipher Hagenmayer, Kate Louise Hamer, and we will see you all soon. Bye for now. Mwah.
Thank you. Bye, guys. Do I hang up?
Bye, Jen. Bye, darling.